Now, I have just filmed a story from Antarctica, right from the bottom of our planet. The next book that I'm going to read is from an animal's perspective from the top of our planet. And these books are both information books, The Ice Bear and The Emperor's Egg. Although they vaguely tell a story, they're really based on fact. They give us information. And that is what the next book really is. It's called The Ice Bear. Who do you think it's about? A polar bear. And remember, a polar bear lives in the Arctic, at the top of our world. Our emperor penguin, he lived at the Antarctic, right at the bottom. So these animals are poles apart, quite literally. The polar bear lives at the North Pole, right at the very top. And unlike the emperor penguin, they are solitary animals. They don't live together. Remember the emperor penguins, they all huddled up together. Not the ice bear. He lives by himself. Or she. Both of them, the boys and the girls, are solitary creatures. Isn't that beautiful? Our people, the Inuit, call it Nanook. Now, the Inuit people are people who live in the North Pole. In the South Pole, nobody lives there except scientists who are investigating ice and trying to find out more about how global warming is affecting our planet. But in the North Pole, people do live, and they live very successfully. They are called the Inuit people. So the Inuit people call it Nanook. White bear, ice bear, sea bear, others say. It is a bear, all right, but not like any other. Our polar bear is made for our frozen world. Polar bears have longer necks and legs than their other relatives, brown and the grizzly bears. No frost can steal polar bear's heat. It has a double coat, one fat, 4 fingers deep. 4 fingers, that is a lot. And one fur, which is an extra trick for beating the cold. Its hairs aren't really white, but they're hollow and they're filled with air to stop the warmth escaping. And underneath, the skin is black to soak up the heat. So each hair is hollow. So there's air in between, and that's what makes it cozy warm. Do you have a fleece blanket on your bed, or maybe a fleece jumper or jacket? They keep you so cozy warm because they are full of air as well. And the air is warmed by your body, and it's kept close to your skin to keep you warm. Only polar bear's nose and pads on the end of his toes are without hair. Its ears sit really close to the side of its head, neatly cut out of cutting winds, and its feet are furred for warmth and grip, so polar bear stays warm no matter what. It will sleep away a blizzard in a drift and wash in snow. It can run as fast as a snow buggy, or walk and walk for days on end. It can swim hundreds of miles without rest to cross the sea between the ice floes and then shake the water from its fur and walk again. Polar bear's fat, do you remember that fat layer that was 4 fingers deep? That means it's about that thick, keeps it warm when it's swimming in the sea. It's got webbed feet. In between its toes, it'll have skin that comes right up here. Bit like he's wearing flippers, big paddles to pull him through the water. Nothing stops the polar bear. Seals are its prey. It hunts them far out on the frozen sea, waiting at a breathing hole or stalking them as they sleep. Polar bear is a white shape in a white world, invisible until it's too late. A lightning paw strike, a crushing bite, and the seal is gone. But polar bear is gentle too. Polar bear mother in her snow den tends to her newborn cubs. She lifts the tiny bodies in her great paws and she suckles them. So newborn polar bears are born when the bear is hibernating. It'll be born in a snow cave, and mummy will give it milk until it's time that spring is springing and it's time to go out. In spring she'll take them hunting, and for 2 years she'll protect and feed them until they've learnt, like her, to hunt alone. Polar bear mums usually have 2 cubs at a time, but sometimes they have 1, or sometimes they might have 3. Alone, though through summers when the sun tracks up and down the sky and one day passes into another with no light in between. Alone through the winters when the sun never rises and the stars of the Great Bear sparkle in the darkness. When the sea ice melts in summer, the polar bears don't catch seals. They'll almost eat anything instead. They'll eat fish, dead birds, berries, even sometimes grass. I don't think I knew that. A new fact of the day. Alone until paths cross. They wave their heads in greeting. They clasp jaws so tenderly they wouldn't break an egg. And cautiously they'll try each other's strength. And then they play. Giants flowing in the whiteness, tumbling, beautiful as snowflakes. Now, real fighting is very dangerous for polar bears, so male bears will just play fight to find out who's strongest, without either bear getting hurt. It's very sensible, isn't it? Until the bears part and slowly go their separate ways. We Inuit, we watch Nanook, as we watched the first when the earth seemed new, and polar bear showed us how to love the Arctic, how to hide from the blizzards in a house of snow, how to hunt for seals with patience and with speed, and how to live in starlit day and sunlit night. And that's because in the Arctic there are some days where there's no moon coming up in the sky. The sun stays high all night long. Can you imagine? And we here in Scotland feel that. In the summer, our nights are very, very short. Up in the Arctic, they're even further to the north, so their nights are even shorter still. Many polar bears and Inuit have passed since then, and still we share our world with gratitude and pride. Scientists think that when humans came to the Arctic about 40,000 years ago, they learned how to survive by watching the polar bears, learning to build a house of snow and to hunt seals. And there we go. That is all about the ice bear. Remember, it is an information book. It told us lots of facts about the bear, what makes him suitable for living in the coldest part of our planet, how he hunts, when they have their babies, and how they survive in one of the harshest places on our planet. So I hope you enjoyed that.